and one could ask, like, okay, why is it so? Why isn't like it in earth as it is in heaven? Like, what's up? What's the logic behind that? And that's where God's character and God's commitment to his words come in. Because in Genesis, in the first book of the Bible, when he created the world, he gave the world to man, and he said, rule over the earth, conquer it, and multiply, and all these things.
Yes.
And at that time, man was subject to God. So basically, God ruled in the earth through the man.
Yeah.
He was just the supervisor kind of thing. But now the middleman gets out of line and starts a rebellion towards God.
Yeah.
And suddenly we have an earth that's in rebellion towards God because he gave us the authority. And technically, again, he could take it away, but he already promised us that. So he doesn't go against his word. Man has rule over the earth. Period.
Amen.
And unfortunately, even man, Adam and Eve, took that power and just handed it to Satan. Like,
oh man,
rule you over us. We'll do whatever you say. We'll sin. And that's why we have all the mess ups. Because in ourselves, because we became separated from God, and that severed the link from God, which is the source of all life, to man. And no longer can man just bring forth life out of themselves, because there's no more life. God said, that day you will eat of that fruit, you will surely die.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. No more like life fruit comes out of you, because you're a dead tree now. So we have an earth full of dead trees. Well, what's the good news? Good news is that Jesus became a man. So now Jesus has authority because he's a man. He has authority on the earth. And he didn't give it to Satan. He didn't sin.
Yeah.
And he took it back. And when Jesus came back to heaven, and before he came back to heaven, he said to his disciples, all power in earth and in heaven is given to me. And that's when the battlefield kind of changes. So Jesus took the authority, but immediately after that, he gave it to us. Again, he delegated it to his children, saying, therefore, go and make all people to my disciples, baptize him and teaching them, and so on and so forth. So again, we have the power as the body of Christ. We are the executive power on this earth until Jesus comes back and kind of fixes things.
Amen.
But with power comes responsibility. If someone heard that before.
I have heard it.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Okay.
And that's exactly what happens. You have responsibility over your life because you have power. Because you are in the earth, you are a flesh creature, you have power. Because mankind is the ruler or a sub-ruler of earth. But anyway, so what we can conclude from this, at least what we can think from this, is that God doesn't control everything that happens on the earth, because it's our responsibility to control what happens in the earth. And oftentimes when people ask, why did God allow this? What I want to ask is, why did you allow it?
Oh, yeah.
Why did you allow this sickness? He gave you the power to resist it and to fight it, and you just allowed it. And speaking to myself sometimes, again, but taking responsibility.